discussing ways to generate revenue within your agency without selling insurance. Very exciting topic today. I have with me Anissa and Catherine. They're going to be looking over the chat so I don't miss anything. So please make sure you chat in your questions. You know, questions are an important part of learning, so please ask them, raise your hand, share your ideas. You know, what better way for all of us to learn is, you know, through our peer-to-peer interaction. And most of you are doing that anyway, all day by posting on the ASNOA private Facebook page. You know, you're asking your questions and your peers are answering them. And I absolutely love that because it's so exciting to see everybody interacting with one another. And if you are not part of the ASNOA private Facebook page, just go to Facebook, search ASNOA private Facebook, and request to join, and we will let you guys join, and you can see all the interaction that everybody has with one another. And it's a great way to ask those questions. Hey, where can I place this type of business? So today's objectives, we're going to provide some innovative ways to generate additional revenue without selling insurance. And did you know that you can earn money by referring agents to ASNOA? Well, you're going to find out how. Kevin's going to give us that information. And unfortunately, we had to postpone our ASNOA sales conference this year, and we're going to go over, discuss the reasons why. Nick's going to provide that for us and answer any questions that you may have. All right, so today's guest speakers, we have Nick, and he's going to explain the postponements. Kathy's going to go through all the innovative ways to generate additional revenue, and Kevin's going to go over our ASNOA referral program.
Hello.
All right. Thank you, Kathy, for sharing your ideas today on how to generate some additional revenue. And we cannot wait to hear your tips so we can all implement those within our agency.
Hi, how are you? Great to be here, Laura. Thanks for inviting me. Just wanted to talk about a couple of different options. I don't want to take up too much of Kevin's show here, but just some different options and some different things to think about doing as a business owner, as in your agency. One of the things that I've seen folks do over the number of years is host an event and charge for the event. So like rent out your conference room if you have conference space, maybe to a real estate agency or a financial planner to host some sort of workshop at your, location. And out of that event that you'll be hosting or, offering your service, your office to, you can have some access, to possibly referrals, right? So this turns into some kind of referral source for you and possible future clients down the road. I know other agencies have also sublet leased out some of their space, right? Maybe to an accountant or a lawyer or, again, a real estate agent. And that's a way to get some additional revenue as well. And the only thing I would note on that is just make sure you check your lease contract, make sure you can sublease. But that's an easy way to get some revenue. And I know in these days now, people are working remotely mostly, but some are looking for office space periodically to be able to meet with customers and things like that. So this would be a great time to take advantage of that situation. And a lot of people looking for just some office space. There's also other things you can do. You can write insurance blogs for newspaper articles for your local paper and for a charge as well. Notary services, they do notary services for a fee. If you become a notary, you can charge a fee for that. Anybody that asked me to notarize anything, I'd say that was $1 million, please. Obviously, I did not do that, but I just wanted to kind of point out a few of those ideas as well. Anybody have any questions or anything that they've done that they would like to share?
Yeah, that would be awesome to hear from some of our agents out there. And also that notary, Kathy, that's a great idea. Because, you know, there's so many people that are looking for a notary. They go to the bank, you know, they can just stop right in when they're going over the insurance with you, or you're doing personal insurance reviews. But you also want to make sure you check your state laws for that, because some states you can charge $10. There's some you can charge, you know, $25 just to notarize somebody's signature. So that's fantastic.
Yeah. And it looks like some folks, Maggie said she would host a happy hour with referral partners as well, and have open houses. I know you can do that as well, but not necessarily charge a fee. Those are more just trying to gain access to referrals or grow your customer base. But that's fantastic. Anybody else?
Yeah, that is awesome. Did you talk about, Kathy, hosting any CE courses for, you know, real estate agents, and, you know, actually using your business as the, you know, like that venue? Just offer them to come in. Maybe they, you know, you charge them $150 just to come in and use your office space so they can host some of their classes. That's a great idea as well.
That is a great idea, Laura. I like that as well. Yep, you could have, there's additional types of services out there that need CE credits, or I know there are companies that offer CE credits courses that you can actually go to that they don't charge a fee though. Those are normally free. But if in the real estate industry, again, if you're going to have somebody come in, host an event at your property or your location, you can rent out your space, whether it's for a course, whether it's for a happy hour, whether it's for an event of some sort. And that would be just an additional way to earn some additional income.
That's awesome. So there's some great ways, Kathy. Thank you so much for sharing those with us.
Thank you. Somebody else, Kurt said, become involved in a service group like Kiwanis or Rotary, as well as your local Chamber of Commerce too. Kurt, yeah, I do like that. Your Chamber of Commerce as well. So thanks for sharing, everybody.
Yeah,
Great.
awesome. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you, Laura.
All right, Kevin. Kevin is our National Sales Director here at ASNOA. And hey, Kevin, we are so interested in hearing about the ASNOA referral program. You are not going to believe the amount of agents that emailed me and said, oh, I have a client that just walked in, or, you know, I'm going to be not able to join. Can you record this? Because they're really excited to hear all about this program. So thanks, Kevin.
Hey, you're very welcome, Laura. If you could just let me know exactly who those people were so I could reach out to them, that would be great.
I will. I took some notes down.
You're always taking notes. Hey, this is a quiet call, right? Everybody's on mute.
They are.
It freaks me out a little bit. And take a deep breath here. Okay. So can they unmute themselves or no? They have to chat.
No, they can. They should be able to unmute themselves.
Sweet. All right.
Okay.
I just want to know. I don't really have any questions posted, but it makes me feel better when I know that they could tell me things. Okay. Good deal. So as Laura said, if you don't know me, my name is Kevin RIGSBY. I'm the National Sales Director. So I support the teams that do prospecting and also the teams that do the onboarding, right? So like our agency services team, I support those folks too. So once we have a qualified individual on board, we ensure that they've got the right appointments and the right startup to get themselves to be successful as fast as possible. So welcome to the show, right? So we're going to be talking about the referral bonus program. And I think the important first statement here is, I think we can all agree the 100K is worth it, right? $100,000 is worth it. I think that we all agree with that. And I'll show you how to get there. It's not as far-fetched as you think. So the ASNOA referral program itself is extremely simple. It's one sentence for you. The program takes 10% of ASNOA's revenue and gives it to you, our affiliate. That's it. We didn't want to make it overcomplicated. We wanted to make it generous. We wanted to ensure that there was layers of entanglement so that both of the affiliates can reap the rewards and the success, right? So if you refer somebody, typically it's going to be somebody you have an affinity with, you care if they're successful. So that's good. So the fact that you care about their success on a personal level and now on a professional level is only going to get you more engaged and thereby make them more successful, right? And certainly we're missing out on a portion of the proceeds, but you're getting it. So we feel very good about that, right? And then our new affiliate is going to be that much more successful because of your engagement. So there's all these synergies tied in with a very basic concept of taking money out of our pocket and put it into yours when you do something like build our network with more profitable agents. So here's how I got to 100K. I put a 20-year time period on it. I think that's fair to say the career of an agent is 20 years. I don't know exactly, Nick, you may know off the top of your head, but I think that we're near and definitely over 10 years on our average agent tenure. If you take away all the brand new rookies, right? Because we certainly are growing at a pretty good clip. But I used some pretty conservative numbers here. I don't think any, I'm sorry, did you have that number? Am I thought I heard something pop up. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought that was done.
Oh,
who's
that's
that?
Barry.
Hey, Barry.
Hi, Barry.
So-
Did you have a question? Oh, no, maybe not. Sorry, Kev.
Okay. So I used some pretty conservative numbers here. I think everybody can get behind these. I used $400,000 in premium a year. You know, some of that's a struggle for us to hit, and that's okay, right? We're here to help. And then some of you, blow past that in the first few months. So I used what I thought was a achievable and conservative number, and I just built that out over 20 years to 4 million. And again, I think extremely conservative because there's certainly agents that are putting on more than $1 million in a year, right? And that compounds as you get more staff and you get more producers and you learn more lines of business. I think we'd all agree that after 5-10 years, you're not looking at a 1.8 million or $2.9 million agency. You're looking at a 5+ in some instances, right? And it's not perfect, but I'm just trying to use a very standard, what I would call a standard number, very achievable over a long time frame. And that's what you see there. So you see the total of 54 million. That's obviously the aggregated total from day 1 through 20 years. And the estimated referral bonus through day 1 through 21 years. You'll have made, or 20 years. You'll have made $108,000 with those projections in 20 years of an agent. So another way to look at that is if you refer 10 agents, you're pretty much taking out your own ASNOA override, right? You're pretty much operating for free over that time period. So 1 a year, by the end of the 10-year time period, you're pretty much paying yourself off. You have no more override effectively with ASNOA. And obviously that's not perfect, but it's another way to think about it. So there's some math for you. Now, to remind you, as you probably all, I'm sure, are very aware, but let's talk about real quick who we look for, right? What's our standard agent, or what we prospect. We look for current captive and exclusive agents. And this is obviously, folks, before I even get into this, these are certainly the rules, right? There's always exceptions, and some exceptions are fantastic, right? So we don't want to say that we wouldn't speak with somebody. I'm speaking to our typical recruit, okay? So they're current captive or exclusive agents, carriers like where most of you folks came from, the Allstate, State Farm, Farmers of the world, AmFams, right? They're 1 to 15 million in revenue. If they're not up to 1 million in revenue, they probably haven't been an agent for 5 years, which is another piece of information that we look for. And if they're over 15 million, they may have a staff and the ability to launch in a different manner, right? We've helped folks that are north of that 15 million become very successful, but it's kind of just a standard platform to look at. 2 to 4 million is the most common affiliate that comes over, a $2 to $4 million agency. And we're looking for 3-year profitable loss run. So we want to make sure they're writing good business, because as you all care very much, we don't want to bring somebody in writing bad business that's going to lead to high losses. That's going to hurt all of our profit sharing. I think we can all get behind that. We don't have to talk about that too much, but that's why we inspect loss ratios, and we want to make sure they're writing good business. And these are what you can tell them. 13 to 15% is our average commission, right? It's actually right in the middle of there. Now there's an override that we take, right, for doing business. So after that override and after profit sharing bonuses, that number still holds true. It's very much an average number. Some of you might say, especially in your first years, wow, I'm a lot higher than that because you're writing a lot of new business with a lot of new spiffs. We have folks that are just about 20% almost on their average commission in the first couple of years. We have folks that get profit sharing bonuses well over 5% of their total commission. And we have folks that get none. You get bad years, right? So on average, we feel very good about those numbers, 13 to 15%. 60 to 80% is what we feel comfortable with on the close rate. As I'm sure many of you would agree, over time, 90% plus is really what you expect from your producers every day. Your carrier mix is mature. Your workflows are proven, right? And there's really no reason you can't build a rapport, find a better price, or find a better product for every one of your customers. But also those first year agents, they're all of those things that I just explained. Obviously, we all agree they're not as mature, right? So those close rates, maybe they're 50%, maybe they're less. So on average, 60 to 80 is a number we feel very comfortable with. Freedom to operate the way you see fit, right? Everyone's a customer now. You got non-standard, great, got a house for that. You got small business commercial lines, great, got a house for that. I've got preferred personal lines, holy cow, that's exactly what I do, amazing. Life, you got opportunities galore for that. So you can operate any way you want, any lines you want. And I'm sure I'm speaking to the choir here, you guys already understand this, but this is the stuff that your peer group, your competitors now, they don't know. They don't know everything about it, right? So that's why I'm walking through this. So when we talk to these folks, especially some that are taking commission cuts right now, I think it's important to remember all your old circles that you used to run in. I think those numbers are going to ring very true with them that, hey, that sounds like a better way to do business. And all of this is in exchange because everybody touts the good. I want to make sure we're trying to be as transparent as we can. We tout the bad. In my opinion, after talking to you guys now every day, all day for 3 years, this is all in exchange for a more intense quoting process that hopefully brings better customer rapport, right? I used to quote these guys in 2 minutes. Now it takes me an hour. Now it takes me 30 minutes, whatever it is. It's more intense. Hopefully you're using that time to build a better customer rapport and a longer standing relationship than just whipping out a quote, right? Hopefully you're talking about lifestyle questions rather than just dollars and cents. And obviously that's up to you. It's a different Live with Laura. The point being though, you always want to make sure and again, you can give your own input, but my input to the folks is like the catch. So I can make more money, I can close 3-4 times what I'm closing now, and I can operate any darn way I want. What's the catch? Well, the catch is you can bust out 20 quotes this hour. You can't do that anymore, right? You need to make sure that you're marrying your customers because you've got to spend a lot more time with them. So that's always the thing that I explain. That's probably the biggest change that I've heard from everybody as a collective over time. So those 3 things are the most important wins, right? The average, you're getting paid more, you're closing more deals, and the freedom with which you can operate is all in exchange for a little bit more work on the quote process that hopefully yields actually a better relationship. So how does it work? That's it. There you go. We made it very tricky. We hit it. If you Google ASNOA referrals, it is the first thing that pops up. If you can remember the website asnoa.com, there's a big bar on the top for resources. The ASNOA referrals are underneath it. You can find it at any given moment. So you go to that referral page, it asks for a very simple piece of information, and then we take it from there. That's all you have to do. Let me back one up. That's it. You go there, you put in the name and your name. That's it. We're going to contact that referral, and we're going to walk them through all things ASNOA through our prospecting process. The affiliate obviously has to join ASNOA. You're going to receive the bonus on your deduction statement. And when I say bonus, I mean referral bonus. It's 10% of their revenue driven to ASNOA. And as long as you and the referred agents are affiliates of ASNOA, you'll receive that bonus. So if you just started and they just started and you guys are here for 20 years, that's going to be a 20-year bonus. If somebody sells their agency or something, and after 5 years, well, it's going to go away when they sell their agency. But as long as everyone is an affiliate, you're going to get it. I saw something from chat here. Let me check and make sure that's not for me. ASNOA.com referrals. Very good.
Anissa, thank you. Hey, Kevin, I got a question for you.
Hold on. Wait, Laura, no questions. Hold on. There you go.
Okay.
as the late great Reverend Ike would tell you, I love money, and my money, she loves me. So, let's go back. Laura, lay it on me. What's your question?
All right. I got a question that was chatted into me. You had mentioned how we help our agents grow. So the question was, how do you help agents grow? I believe it was on one of your first slides.
How do we help our agents grow? When we're talking about here, I think is when we're talking about helping our agents grow. Our agents as NOA affiliates? I would categorize that with
back one more.
Okay. I would say that we bring enhanced commissions, easier access to carrier appointments, more access to carrier appointments, more layers of access, period. A system that allows us to track and manage those revenues, that brings higher equity when you're looking to sell your book, because we're all on a singular AMS and 30 plus people that are here to support those systems, those processes via a training department, a agency services department, an accounting department, all of which provide their own services that we could discuss with an affiliate in detail. So when you combine all those, I think that you're going into the IA channel very much with a support system behind you versus going it alone.
Awesome. Thank you. So all the agents have to do is go into asnoa.com, go to referrals, and put in the name and number. They don't have to ask any of those questions about their loss runs, or they don't have to ask what kind of book of business they have, correct?
They need to do none of that. I gave them this information here, the bottom 4 bullet points, just so they have some speaking points when they're chatting up with people. And again, those are averages. If they feel like, nah, that's cutting it short or that's an inflated number, by all means, use your best judgment. But those are the averages I feel comfortable with. And they got to do that part. That's it.
So how would you strike up a conversation, Kevin, with somebody that you wanted to refer to ASNOA?
Well, I would start with the low-hanging fruit of people that I know in my own network, in my own circles, and say, when are you done? When's enough enough?
Right.
Everybody. I think everybody can agree we're all just a boiling frog, right? We know that analogy, that metaphor, where if you throw a frog into a pot of boiling water, is going to hop out immediately. But if you put them in there when it's lukewarm and boil the water, the frog will die with the water. It'll boil itself. And I think that we're all living in a captive channel. We all know it's coming. It's a dying breed. It's not feasible for the future of what we have. Technology is too great. The only reason independents didn't crush captives 30 years ago, right, is because it takes an hour to do the quote. Well, back then it probably took a day. And obviously that's an exaggeration, but you get the point. I mean, things are getting so easy now. You guys are going to be able to, just dominate captive competition. And for sure, is Allstate and State Farm and Farmers always going to have a market share? Absolutely. They're going to have, if it's always about price, they're always going to have the lowest price on something. Absolutely. So we can make it about different things when you're dealing with those customers, but from a sheer concept of doing business, I think we can all agree we're on the right side of the fence. So that's what I would talk about. I would start with my inner circles and I would ask them those questions that are very obvious that everybody on these calls probably went through with someone else. If it wasn't us, it was a group of people. But then after that, if you really want to get at it, like, hey, I kind of want to turn this into a revenue stream, I would hit up your social media streams.
Oh, awesome. That's a great idea.
Yeah. So that's what I would do to spread the word. But if I think there's so much low hanging fruit, everybody knows somebody that knows somebody that's still a captive. And it's not a matter really of them leaving, if they're going to leave, it's when, right? So I would just try to be in front of them when that's ready, or try to ignite that so that they go when you recommend it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you want to refer them so you can make it that 100K.
You're absolutely right. Well, yeah, get a few of them. Right. And I think that we can all agree consumers are very smart. Everybody would include themselves in that category. I mean, you don't necessarily want to talk to the guy selling you the car. You want to talk to the mechanic, right? You don't want to talk to somebody selling you some kind of healthcare product. You want to talk to the doctor, right? Everybody wants to speak to the person that's fulfilling the service. Well, that's you. I could talk their ear off, right? And like, that's a sales guy. I don't know. I'm not sure if what he's selling me is accurate or real, right? When they talk to you, all of that is gone. All those walls are dropped. You could talk to somebody for 5 minutes and make it more effective than me talking to them for 5 days. So it's much simpler.
Well, and you know what, if you think about it too, a lot of those captives that are your friends that you know, they probably are ready to leave. They just need that little push.
They do.
You know, to say, hey, this is what I can do here. These are all the carriers that I can write with. I know back in the day, way back in the day, when I worked for an agent for American Family, you know, they stopped writing certain lines of business, and we had too many of our eggs in one basket, and we made the jump, and it was amazing. It was the best thing that we ever did, was joining ASNOA. So thank you so much, Kevin. Greatly appreciate everything that you do for us. Let me share my screen here. All right, anything more to add? Anybody have any questions for Kevin? Is there anything in the chat?
It was so clear and descript. I think everybody's like, wow, I get it. I get it now. I'm feeling good.
I know that's what everybody was thinking. They were like, hey, Kevin, he is fantastic and gave us all the information that we need.
Hey, can I throw one more thing out, Laura? Laura, can I throw out one more thing? That's one more ad hoc off script thing here real quick? Can I throw it out there?
Okay.
Yes? Okay, cool. So we used to do a monetary, like, hey, here's $1,000, you know, for a referral kind of thing, you know, if they joined. And that's still very much, you know, an option if somebody wants it. The reason that we did this 10% deal, and I should have made this a slide, but obviously I talked about in the beginning, there's something in it for you and them. And just, it can be insanely lucrative, right? Over time. Even Allstate, you know, is the highest I've ever heard, paying $15,000 per pop, you know, for an agent. It's all a singular transaction. And that's because they charge the incoming agents drastically more than we do, right? But the point is, nobody on the market can compare with that, right? So I think that's something to kind of enjoy and take a deep breath about. That, you know, even at those extreme captive recruiting bonuses, I haven't seen anybody give you a slice of the pie like that, you know, arguably in quote unquote in perpetuity. So I just want everybody to take a deep breath on that. And that was not an easy decision for us to make, but we think it was the right one, and hopefully you feel good about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Kevin. Another question was, are your slides available? Do you have marketing material to give potential?
I've got, man, I got a ton of stuff. Those slides, man, are you talking, well, you can hear me, so I'll just ask. I would say, do you mean you're looking for like some feature and benefit stuff that you could share with your peer group, you know? And if that's the question, then absolutely. If you're looking for something, hey, it's just for me, like I want to take a look and digest it and think about, maybe I do want to care more about this referral program, then no, I don't have anything built, but I'd be happy to. And I could take all of the information that was on here and more and put it together. So I guess if anybody wants to, just chat in and tell me, you know, are you looking for something to hand to them to better recruit them? Or are you looking something for you so that you understand the program? So chat it in and let me know. And by the end of this, we'll get an idea what you're looking for. And I can do either or both of those.
I would say both.
Hey, you making the other one?
I would say if I was recruiting people, I'd like to be able to, you know, show them some things about ASNOA, you know, show them the website, go through everything. I know that's not anything that any of our agents need to do, because all they need to do is go to asnoa.com and go to referrals and put in their name. But, you know, something to look over to see if, hey, I want to stream this and be a revenue-driven agency where I'm going to bring in this additional revenue, 100K over so many years, and have that available to me. So maybe I'd like to look at additional information to that as well.
Awesome. Sounds good.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Kevin. Always a pleasure.
You're so welcome, Laura.
All right, Nick.
Hey, Laura.
Hello, Nick.
So perfect timing, right? As soon as it's my turn to speak, my landscaper just showed up and is cutting the grass outside my backyard. So if it becomes a little cloudy, that's what's going on. But Laura, I appreciate you getting me on here and bringing me on the Live with Laura. You know, and I honestly hate to be the bearer of bad news, but unfortunately somebody has to do it. So please do not kill the messenger. All joking aside, you know, we are so bummed that we have to postpone this year's Connect. I can't even tell you how much we've been looking forward to it. I think everybody in our organization looks forward to getting with our agents out in the field, whether it's through Connect or through a trip down to your state or whatever it is. You know, that's what we thrive in. That's my favorite part of the job. And I know a lot of you guys thrive in that same setting, that in-person setting. So, you know, obviously we're not happy about having to do this. And I kind of want to give you a little bit of insight of, you know, what our difficult decision-making process was like, just so you guys can understand that, you know, we put a lot of thought into it, and obviously there's a lot of effort and time and energy that goes into planning an event of the size of this year being a single event. And so that even got us a little bit more giddy this year to have everybody in one room, and we were looking forward to it even that much more. Not to mention that it's been almost 2 years since we've seen many of you as well. So, you know, all that kind of piled up there. You know, at the end of the day, you know, it is your health and safety and, you know, my employees' health and safety, as well as our vendors and our carrier partners' health and safety that needs to come first. The disruptions, you know, we stayed optimistic for a while. We thought we were going to get this meeting in, especially when we planned at the beginning of the year, you know, going into early spring. You know, we were looking forward to being able to get out there in October, and we thought, hey, let's set it up to where it's going to be later in the year so we can kind of give this time to run its course. Well, the Delta variant really kind of started again and started causing those major disruptions. And they started piling up, right? You know, some states turned to red, you know, our carrier partners started calling, communicating that, you know, there's many concerns for travel on their end. And then all of a sudden it's travel restriction after travel restriction we're hearing about. You know, at the end of the day, putting on an event of this size, you know, it requires a lot of resources, and we really rely on our carrier partners and our vendors to help us provide those resources. I think Kevin said it best. Nobody wants to come to St. Louis to hear me talk on stage for 4 hours just because we're trying to fill time. So ultimately, we had to make a decision, and that decision was to postpone the event. You know, I'm sure some of you guys might have your differing opinions on it, and you know, we obviously respect everybody's opinion in this, but at the end of the day, it's the health and safety of everybody, and then just really having that partnership with our carrier vendors and our sponsors to really support us. And it's just unfortunate we're not able to do it this year. We're certainly looking forward to getting a new date locked down. Going to be a new location, we're thinking. You know, there's a lot of things that are on the table, and so as this information kind of comes through and some decisions are made, you guys are going to be the first to know. We want to put everybody in the know as soon as possible, because guess what? We want as many of you there as possible. It's been a couple years, and the truth is I haven't got a chance to meet a lot of you, and that's something that we've really built our company on, is that face-to-face interaction and really getting to know each other and really building a culture around, you know, us caring about you guys as agents and trying to provide the best support. And really, you know, a lot of that stuff comes out when we're sitting across the table, maybe having a cocktail, maybe having lunch, maybe having a coffee, and there's just a lot of things that are built from there. And you know, we know we're missing that, and we're hoping we can deliver on that with the 2022 event, and you know, hopefully we can have some plans very, very soon. And I also
I can assure you all that we're working on that as we speak, Nick, right? We're working on that. So we'll be definitely, as soon as we have something secure, we'll get something out to you all soon, as soon as possible.
as soon as the decision was made to postpone it, the planning committee was reconvened to plan next year's event. So it's kind of an endless process. Like I said, planning these events there's a lot of logistics that go into it, and endless hours of planning. So we're looking towards getting a great event put together and actually getting in front of everybody, and obviously meet all those agents that we haven't had a chance to meet in person. And again, I know you guys probably have some questions that may be around that, or maybe you don't, you totally understand, but we obviously wanted to give this opportunity to you guys to ask any questions that you may have about the postponement, and we're going to be here to answer them.
Thanks, Nick. I do have a question. Will there be additional scholarships added for 2022?
Absolutely, absolutely. So we had to stop our scholarship, for this year. Obviously, those are going to roll over. We're people of our word. So if we told you we were going to take care of something and you won a contest, we're definitely going to honor that. So no worries on that front. We do have a tracking mechanism, so your names are all on a board, and we'll make sure that you guys get what is owed to you. And then ultimately, yes, so there will be, scholarship offerings for 2022 event.
Thank you. And do you have a rough idea of the time frame for 2022?
Unfortunately, I don't. We've put out a lot of RFPs out there right now. At the end of the day, I think there's a lot of people scrambling. This year was really hard to get this event booked because of everybody trying to do the same thing and getting their conferences booked for the fall to give it time. And I think everybody's kind of kicking themselves in the butt thinking, hey, the fall was going to be great. Well, the reality is it gave the opportunity for another variant to come along, for the fall season to kick in, for a lot of concerns for other people to kind of build up. And so no, we don't have any plans yet. Like I said, those RFPs are out there. Hopefully we can start getting some clarity on that and sharing some, sneak peeks, once we have some more details.
Thank you.
And yes, Dave Wilson, we are looking at Florida too.
Thanks, Kat.
Hey.
Yeah, that was
Laura.
Wanted to make sure it was someplace warm.
Hey, Laura.
Yeah, Kat.
I feel like this is a good time to note, if everybody takes a look at that picture in that teamwork section and all those smiling faces, that was our state of ASNOA. I think it's pretty awesome. We got our team together. I want everybody to take a real good look on that guy on the left, the bald guy with the mask on. And he sees holding the phone. I just want you to know, even when we're taking pictures, we're working for you. That was an Encompass conversation I was having with the carrier. So I couldn't even stop to smile and take a picture. That's an ASNOA pledge to you. We always got somebody on it, making sure that we're doing what we can to put money in your pocket. So I just wanted to call that out, make sure that the 50 people on this call saw that.
Yes, thank you, Kevin.
I love it, Kevin.
Everybody knows you. You're always working, Kev.
No, somebody. That was just my turn. That was just my turn to do it.
All right. Well, thank you, Nick, for letting us all know the disappointing news about the conference. I was so looking forward to seeing everybody in person. Like you said, Nick, it's been so long. We miss seeing everybody's faces. If anybody else has
that's for sure. We definitely miss you. So as soon as we get new news and we get some registrations out, get yourselves registered so we can make sure that we're going to be able to see you. Because if not, I'm going to fly down there early and I'm going to help you register wherever you're at. I'm coming to you.
We're all coming to you.
That's right. That's right. And don't forget, once we get the new scholarships up, so you guys can all take a look at the new website when we get that all up and running, and take a look at the new scholarships so you can win airfare and hotel like a lot of you did that were on this call. If you want a scholarship, raise your hand. Let's do a nice shout out to you guys. Where's, I think we have Eric. Was he on here? And Joe
Laura,
was on.
or Nick, actually. Yeah. Nick, this is more for you too. Hey, I don't think we have an exact plan, but I think it might be a good time to bring up to everybody too. to make it a little more digestible on the wallet there. We will likely bring a plan to fruition where they can maybe put funds into a kitty, into their own personal kitty, right? So when the time comes, they're not, spending 2 G's on the travel if they're putting $50, $100 from their statement, right? Is that something we're contemplating too?
Yeah, there will be payment plans, same as we did last year, Kev. I think that's a great point. The earlier we can get those things planned, get some ideas of what it looks like, we can get that availability back again and start, working towards that 2022 event. So yes, absolutely.
And that would be refundable too, God forbid. I can't imagine. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about it going on again, but it would be.
Don't
It would be
say it,
refundable.
Kev. Don't say it.
100% refundable.
Yeah, got it.
100% refundable, absolutely. And everybody that did register, I would like to add, should have received their cancellation from the hotel. If we booked a room for you, or if you booked a room under our block, you should have received your cancellation confirmation as well. Those went through this week. So we will keep you posted. We're working hard on a new event. I'm already going to be exploring others next week, and absolutely you'll be the first to know. This group will be the first to know, Laura.
That's right. We will announce it on a Live with Laura. How's that?
There you go.
Deal.
There. Well.
Great. Nick, do you have anything else to add?
No, I do not. I just, again, we're sorry that we can't put this event on, and we totally miss you guys, and definitely can't wait to see you guys again in person.
Well, everybody stay safe would be my message.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us, Laura. Appreciate it.
Yes, that is wonderful. So just a few notes, I want to thank all our guest speakers today. Kathy gave us some interesting tips on generating additional revenue for the agencies. Start small, like maybe being a notary, or go big and rent out some of your office space, or host some classes for other, accountants or anybody in the medical field, that you're just renting out your space. You're the venue. Kevin gave us some great insight on how our ASNOA referral program works, and he's going to get us some information. Maybe we can share that in our next ASNOA Advantage newsletter. That might be a great place to add that information, and we can add our recording for this Live with Laura. So, I'm sure the wheels are spinning and you guys are thinking of how to implement this all within your own agency. So start today. Make a plan so you guys can start generating some extra revenue within the agency. And I want to thank Nick so much for, coming on and talking with us about the postponement. I know that was such a hard decision for everybody to make, but we're looking forward to planning the next one for 2022 so we can see everybody in person. Because it's really hard not seeing everybody. Every year we look forward to it. So September, a little sneak peek, for September's Live with Laura. And we're going to show you some time-saving tips and tricks in Epic. So by using some of the new features and some of these forgotten features that we haven't used in Epic in so long. And we're also going to be looking for your help to minimize the amount of clicks that we do in Epic. So you guys always hear me say, all right, if you do it this way, it's going to save you 900 clicks a month or 900 clicks a week, whatever it may be. So we are looking to automatically have some of these activities hidden on the back end. So when you go into Suspense and you change the date, we can have that pop-up be hidden. And we want to know what you guys think. Is there any reason why we need to keep some of these activities open when they're already set to closed? So as you're working this next month in Epic and you're like, whoa, this is an activity that drives me crazy every time I have to click finish on it, write down that code. And then in September, we're going to go through those codes. We're going to vote on those codes, and we're going to hide those activities so we don't have to keep clicking on them. We want to save some time in Epic when we're working. We want to, what's that saying? We want to work smarter, not harder. So take that time, write down those codes so we can vote on those in our next Live with Laura in September. Please fill out your evaluations. Let us know what you want to see on our next webinar. I know that going through tips and tricks in Epic was one of our last month's requests. So that's what we're going to do for you guys. So if there's something that you want us to go over, just let us know. And always, as Noah's here for you, any extra trainings, chat about ideas that you may have, and to help with more education, knowledge for yourself, for your staff. So watch for emails for September's Live with Laura. Register on our ASNOA University page that's on our website. If you haven't been to our ASNOA University page, that's where you're going to register for all of our weekly sessions. You can register for Epic Help, which is Wednesdays at noon. That's very popular. Everybody comes on, they ask a question, and then they can just jump off. You don't have to sit there for the whole hour. Please utilize our ASNOA YouTube channel. All you have to do is go on our landing page, ASNOA University, and scroll to our video library. And we have tons and tons of videos on how to add a policy, how to work in suspense, what are attachments. Anissa does a great job of keeping up with all of those YouTube videos. And if there's something that you want to see and it's not there, let us know. We'll create it for you. So thank you, everybody, for taking this time with us today. We're always appreciating it when you spend this hour with us. And thank you to our guest speakers for sharing all of that helpful information on generating some additional revenue within your agency. So thank you, everybody, for joining. If you have any questions, we'll hang out here a little bit. You are unmuted, so you can unmute yourself, and we can open up any discussions that you may have. All right, thank you. Yes, thank you too.